Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like.
What's up, Titans Nation? Welcome in to the SeatGeek Studios and the 615. It's your host, Lee Hillis. And yes, the season is officially over, and here we come for the off season. But first, give a quick shout out to our partners over at SeatGeek. You can use our code 615 podcast. That is 615 PODCAST at checkout for $20 off your first order of $50 or more on SeatGeek.com or on the SeatGeek app. Well, let's go bring 1/3 of the duo, Jay Murph.
How you doing, Lee?
What's up, dude?
I didn't expect you to bring me in first.
And
Does that mean I get to
well, we do have a little surprise, don't we?
Absolutely. On this Black Monday with the return of the king. Yeah, I'll take it. Absolutely. He ate his twin in the womb. He's got a nice little mark on his head from it, and he forgot to cover it up with makeup.
He looked like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
The boy who lives shall come to die.
Cannot reparo that thing on his forehead, though. Welcome in, TK, our other co-host.
What's up, Titans Nation? I'm back, baby. Hey, we're back in the flesh.
He's back.
Just a little missing flesh, but hey, we're all good. It's all good.
Happy to have you back, Tyler.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be back, guys. Just had to take a little time, a little family time, spend it with some loved ones, So I'm back full force. We got a new little setup here. So I'm ready to get into this. Let's put the rest of this season, guys. Let's start talking about next.
It is Black Monday in the NFL, everybody. And for those who don't know, this is pretty much the first day people start getting fired, unless you're Gerard Mayo, and then it happens 10 seconds after you walk off the football field. And we start talking off-season, draft, free agency. So
you have been fired.
Oh, you fired me? Deuces.
You're fired. No.
It's about time.
This is that Big John?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
I don't know. I think it might be, but anyway, it's fine.
It says one of those guys. I don't know who that is.
It is my dad.
But Black Monday and the return of the king.
I love you, brother.
So the coaches who have been fired. The coaches who have been fired during the season. Robert Saleh in New York, Matt Eberflus, and Dennis Allen in New Orleans. And then you add New England yesterday,
which we were all
New England
yeah.
Yeah, so you add New England to the pot yesterday of the head coaches fired. And then today you add Doug Peterson from Jacksonville.
Which I think we all expected that.
And there's only one GM job open, and it's the Jets. And I think we've all talked about it. J-Rob. And then what about Vrabel as the head coach for the Jets?
And then the OC there obviously is Downey. So I saw a post that was like, "Hey, are we trying to get like the gang back together?"
Go. Who's got Ryan Tannehill?
Are we going for one more final? Like together? Yeah.
He's on some yacht somewhere fishing. You remember when all that came out? That all season. They were like, "Why were you fishing after you threw 3 picks to the Bengals?" Whatever.
So the big question is:
are we going to talk about who's taking those jobs?
We could actually start by that.
Yeah, we should. I think
New York. We all three think Vrabel. I think
I
we
think
all
New
three
York.
think
No.
Vrabel for
I
New
think
York.
Vrabel's going to Chicago, man. Vrabel's going to Chicago.
Oh,
So,
you think Vrabel Chicago?
I think
No,
Vrabel's going to Chicago.
I'm gonna tell you right now. So I kind of like it's kind of a opinion of both, I guess, same like area or whatever. But I actually think the best fit for Vrabel. I agree with Josh. It is the Bears,
Defensive-minded team.
but I think he ends up.
Well,
in
they
New
just
England.
fired a defensive minded head
What?
coach.
Oh, you think New England?
I think he ends up in New England.
Yeah, why? I
Well,
don't think the
well,
relationship with the GM's good enough.
I don't know, man. But then, so the only thing that I'm hesitant about the GM situation, like as I think about it, is Mayo is also a former player.
Yeah.
But they're gonna get hype about that. I mean, Vrabel was on Super Bowl teams. Like when they
Vrabel
started,
is not Gerard Mayo.
No.
Vrabel's a leader of men. And not to say
Yeah,
that Gerard Mayo's not.
no, I
Respect to
agree.
Gerard Mayo.
Vrabel has people about ready to run through a wall.
But
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry,
what I mean.
I don't think he is going to end up in New York. I don't think he ends up with the Jets because Downing. I mean, literally, you're moving the band. You saw what happened to New York, and New York in that market, that shit won't fly.
I don't think so. I think you're right. I don't think the market.
No, the thing that
allows for
won't fly, the thing that will not fly in New York with Vrabel is we got to coach better and play better. That won't fly in New York.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not going to work. The
So-
culture is not going to. No.
So, Lee, do you think the Jets or do you think someone else? I'm keeping track here. That's why I'm asking.
I could go New York, but I'm saying give me the Big Easy.
You have to
New
inform the
Orleans.
ignorance. Oh. Ooh, that's weird. That could work.
I definitely do. I do agree with the part that
Give me
as far as I'm talking fit for Vrabel. We've had him for years. We've seen what he does. The best fit
Oh,
for
right.
a team that he could go to would be the Bears. The Bears is his best fit, in my opinion. I think he ends up in New England. And honestly, I wish I had a better backup argument for
Jordan?
why. But
Anyway, all right. So who's taking the Jets job? So neither all of us have said something other than the Jets. So who's taking?
I'm taking the Patriots. Straight up.
You're taking the Patriots, or we're talking about Vrabel. We need to get off
Vrabel.
because Vrabel's 2 years removed in a first round.
No.
pick.
I think we're talking. Is that what you're talking about, though? I think Vrabel ends up.
No, I want to go down the jobs. Like you said New England.
Vrabel to New England.
Yeah, you said New England. You said New Orleans.
So I'm saying Vrabel to New Orleans.
Okay.
So where are we saying Ben Johnson ends up?
Tyler said New England.
No, Vrabel ends up in New England is what. Yeah.
I
Where's
would
Ben
say
Johnson go?
I would
I don't.
probably
I can't
say
even give like
Jacksonville.
that. Come back to him.
Jacksonville?
Like,
That would be a good fit for Ben Johnson.
honestly, like I was about to say, that would be like whoever else I picked in this journey we're taking right now. That's who I would like say. Like,
But-
yeah.
But could you imagine playing an offense like the one in Detroit right now twice a year? That would hurt. That would hurt my soul. But that's why you go out and you spend a second round pick now, which is what it is on L'Jarius Sneed. So if a guy like Ben Johnson comes in your division, you don't have to fight that. What other job openings were there? There were Jacksonville. There was New England. There was New England. Yeah, go ahead. Go. Talking to you, Lee. Go.
I was saying Jacksonville.
Jacksonville for Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Okay. So what other openings are left after that? You got New York, the Jets. Who's taking the Jets job?
You got New York.
I could
you
see.
Go ahead.
I'm saying underdog. Titans fans would.
Ooh, we lost Lee. That's okay.
Okay.
We're
gonna keep it going. Hey, sorry guys.
That's all good. So Tyler, who's going? Jacksonville. let's see. Today, Art Smith got a head coaching interview with. Who did he get an interview with? Art Smith interviewed for a job today. It was the Bears. The Bears interviewed Arthur Smith today.
Have the Bears
or requested permission to interview Art Smith?
Have the Bears interviewed Vrabel yet, or is the Jets the only team that we know that has interviewed Vrabel?
So Vrabel's contract with the was it the Bears? No, the Browns. Vrabel's contract with the Browns ended week 16, so he was able to get a 1 week jump on interviews over everybody else. So teams aren't really conducting interviews right now. They won't start that process until next week because of tampering. But the Bears requested today. This is kind of odd because he's still the head coach of the Cowboys, but requested to interview Mike McCarthy. Isn't that wild? So and the Cowboys haven't responded to that. So are they going to fire McCarthy or what's going on here?
So I have the Saints job taken.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you do.
And then
and the Jacksonville job taken, which I agree with you on.
Yeah.
The other job. So Chicago's open. New England for me is open.
Okay, who's taking Chicago for you? What do you think's going there? Maybe not a person. Maybe you don't know a name, but what do they need in Chicago?
I would say someone offensive.
What do you think, Tyler?
I mean, this is what I'm saying, though. See, the question that's being asked for Chicago, do I think the best fit for Vrabel is Chicago? Yes, but I think he goes to the Patriots.
Fair enough. I'm with you. I think it's an offensive-minded guy who needs to go to Chicago and help develop.
Can I just say who I think?
Yeah, or you're probably going to say the same person, I think. Kingsbury? Yeah, because he was the offensive coordinator. You turned me to that one, actually, as the USC connection.
I could agree with that. I mean, okay. Yeah.
Well, anybody that we forgot so far is
New England for me.
Exactly, yeah.
I think for New England, it's the dark horse for me.
Is Robert Saleh still out there?
Yeah, he is. He's going to be at DC somewhere.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going to go this is so we could probably go grab Saleh. Denard Wilson to New England.
No, he's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
New England. You don't think he is?
No, I don't think so. I think we sucked bad enough towards the end where he's not going anywhere.
That guy in New Orleans, the special teams coordinator, deserves a freaking head coaching job somewhere.
I don't know enough about him to be able to. But if he's anything like Dan Campbell, because that's kind of Dan Campbell's come up, I could see why people would be interested in that. But with Sean Payton not being there anymore.
The dude had people about ready to run through a freaking brick wall, just like Dan Campbell.
Did they got something in the water down there, that's for sure.
But going to New England, if it's not Denard, I'd probably go Aaron Glenn in Detroit.
So you're thinking a defensive-minded guy goes to New England?
Yes.
What do you think?
But not
Tyler?
Vrabel.
What do you think, Tyler?
I think Vrabel goes to New England, guys. I'm going to hold tight with that. I'm going to hold tight with that.
That's his one called shot that he gets. Are you calling your shot on January 6th, your first show back of the new year?
Yeah.
All right. Vrabel to New England. All right. I drove us off track long enough. We can jump into something else. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry I got booted because everything crashed.
Oh, wonderful.
But the big question is, are the Titans in full rebuild? I think we all three agree, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask a question to the group here real quick? As we literally are saying, like, we all three agree, yes, we're in a rebuild. There's been a lot of talk about the GM and the head coach. And a lot of people are saying if you let go of one, you got to let go of both. Correct. So what are y'all's opinions on that as far as can we just let go of Callahan and not Rand, or do we have to if we let go of Rand, because I mean, all over the zone today, that's like what the discussion was. So
sure. Okay.
So can I pose this?
Yeah.
because I heard it on Cover 2 with Blaine and Zach today.
Yeah.
They posed the hypothetical. Let's say we fire Rand.
You have to fire.
We
Callahan.
bring the new GM in. We hire the new GM. And you tell him, hey, you have 2 days to decide. Do you keep Callahan or do you fire him? And if you want to keep him, okay. If you want to fire him, you're the one telling him.
Josh, I want you to bring up the point that you made today with me on the phone about when we were talking about this.
I don't remember what it was, but I don't see
No,
how.
you were saying you were talking about what just happened with Mayo, and they won Super Bowls. Do you remember when we were talking about it? And you were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
bring
that's
that
a good
up.
point,
Bring
too.
it- yeah.
I mean, the New England Patriots are a 7-time championship winner, and they just fired their dude after 1 year. It's a dude that took them to a couple of those.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
who are we, the little Titans, to believe we know more than them, first off? And second off, why would you fire? You're not going to fire a GM and not fire the head coach they hired. And especially if this is a collaborative effort, you got to fire yourself if you're Amy Adams Strunk, because you collaborated to this bullshit to this point. And then, what did you just say? Did you say you would hire a GM and then give him the choice after 48 hours to fire? You figured that out in the interview process. You know if you want Callahan or not.
Yeah.
By no means would you hire a GM and then say, "Hey, by the way," my answer would be fire him right now. I'd be like, I don't even know what. Like you, that's such an unserious scenario to play out to hire somebody to a multi-million-dollar organization.
You know the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. We've been seeing it all across Twitter and social media the last 24, 48 hours. That there is possibly a firing on the horizon in Nashville. Is it Rand Carthon? Or is it Brian Callahan? Or is it both? There's been more smoke leaning towards the firing of Carthon over Callahan.
Which, especially today, I mean, Buck and Lucas on the Buck Rising show today got like in a heated like back and
debate
forth about it. Yeah. Buck was basically like, hey, send the ships away. And he was like, no, you can't. You got to keep Callahan another year, which your dad just commented a second ago.
He literally just said the same thing. Like and I said it earlier in the year. Got to give him one more season to see what happens. I said it. You're wasting my time as a fan if you abandon ship on this collaborative process. Now we're already this far into it. We've already got a number 1 pick. Like, y'all better commit to this. Like, do not fire anybody in the room unless you know for an absolute fact you got your dude behind them.
And we'll get more into this towards the end of the show about the number 1 pick. What do you do with it?
That could be a 4-hour show, and
it really could. We could be.
It really. We're gonna get to it. So let's go ahead and get into this.
We agreed on this list, just not the positioning.
The three of us talked on it last night. Y'all gave 4. I realized there was probably another position that we needed some help in, because the way I look at outside of Kenneth Murray, you have James Williams and Cedric Gray. Luke Gifford, he played okay down the stretch, but you need that other quote unquote explosive piece next to him. So I went inside linebacker as the 5th position I need. But top 5 positions of need, we went tackle, specifically right tackle, wide receiver, quarterback, edge, and inside linebacker. Now,
I was going to say, so Tyler, we were discussing this earlier, and you said it as well. The right tackle position is not deep.
No. You're talking about free agents, right?
Free agency, right? Either way, I mean, really in the draft, it's not deep.
Well, that's true too. So. There's only like 10 tackles in the draft. Oh wait, Lee, I can't remember the number, but it's like 8 or 10. Something.
It's a low
there's
number.
There's only 8 right tackles in free agency.
Yeah,
and there's only like 10 in the draft, though. We talked like or something like that.
And we'll get into that more and more because there'll be guys who rise and fall on that board as we go to build it throughout the offseason. But either way, there's not a endless fountain here. So this is what you got.
I went Mekhi Becton, former 1st-round pick by the New York Jets. He was set up for failure right off the jump.
He was bad right off the jump. So
Yeah.
James Hudson, I think he's in Cleveland right now. He spent 1 year with Callahan, Bill Callahan.
how old's he now?
26, 27.
Wow, he's a lot younger than I thought he was. Okay.
Storm Norton, he's in that 28 to 30. He's in Atlanta right now. Trent Brown, he's in that 30 to 31. Morgan Moses, the reason I have him at the bottom is, would I be okay with it? Maybe, because of the veteran aspect of it. He's 33, 34.
That's fine for a tackle, for an offensive lineman. That's the edge of their prime.
And then the second position was wide receiver.
Okay, here we go.
We had a discussion about this beforehand. I went T. Higgins as my number one guy.
Under no circumstances would I ever touch Josh Palmer.
Well, that's
with a rocket launcher to my head. I wouldn't shake Josh Palmer.
I mean, but
So,
the best,
2, 3, and 4, you're saying stay away from.
I'm saying one you can go for. Nicole. No, who are those? Why are they on this list? Don't put Van Jefferson in my face. What are you trying to say, Tyler?
He's from Ravenwood High School, dude. No,
Who is?
but hey,
who is?
Van
Jefferson went to Ravenwood.
I don't
graduated.
care if he lives next door to me.
No,
He's ass
that's
cheeks.
fine.
I don't
That's
want
fine.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
That's
Miko
fine, but
Hardman,
hey, hold on.
you could
Lee.
use him as a kick returner because the speed.
Yeah, that's true. Go, Tyler.
He did win a Super Bowl though, and then win the Super Bowl, and then go deliver he didn't deliver the baby, but he went and all the same night into the game. But no, hold on,
stats from that Super Bowl for Van Jefferson.
That's not my point. Hey, he's a leader of men and kids. I don't know, whatever. No, I'm kidding.
Talking about who? Not Van Jefferson.
Here's the thing. Hey, Chris Godwin though.
Yeah,
Chris Godwin.
that dog, give it to me. I don't care. No ACLs. I don't care.
But you would
No, I don't care.
But would you
I don't
not
care.
take him?
Godwin? I'd take him yesterday.
I would take Godwin over anybody on this list.
It's just like us to go get a receiver past their prime too. How old is he? 28?
28.
No, he's
28, 29.
He's running on pirate nubs at this point.
But I would take T. Higgins for the price of Chris Godwin.
Absolutely. All day. Even a little more. I'd take T. Higgins for the price of A.J. Brown at this point. Give a Robin to our Batman. I would love it.
Wait. You would hold on. You would pay what is A.J. Brown's
He's like 24.8. Yeah, it's like 24.8. It's like $4 million more than this.
So you would pay that for
Yes.
T. Higgins?
Yes.
There's no way.
Well,
Not that.
would you pay $84 million for Calvin Ridley?
Well, I'm not the Titans GM, but no. I'm just saying. I'm
We've
just
got
telling you.
$61 million.
You're
to
asking
play
about
with.
me. No,
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
What would you pay for T. Higgins? And by the way, there's like 11 T. Higginses in this draft, obviously, because you've got another option for me.
18 probably.
Let me put this into context.
17, 18.
Let me put this into context. T. Higgins' calculated market value per spot track is it's basically 21 million. It's 20.7 million. On the other hand, and T. Higgins is in that 25, 26-year-old range.
He's entering his prime.
Chris Godwin is in that 28 to 30.
With multiple.
His calculated market value is 22.6. But Chris Godwin's also coming off of injury.
I can't
That's
believe you
something to
tried
think
to
about.
sell me. I can't believe you tried to sell me Van Jefferson as a leader of men. I'll never let you live that down.
You do know I was just giving you shit with that. Obviously, I know that.
I know. I'm never.
But
Gonna,
yeah.
I'm gonna actually. I want that sound bite. I'm gonna put it in my ringtone.
Yeah, right.
That was
He went to
beautiful.
Ravenwood High School. He's from here. It's cool.
Much love, Van Jefferson.
And then quarterback
Oh,
is
let's
another
get
thing.
into it.
Quarterbacks, the way I listed it, number 5 is highly unrealistic, like it would ever happen.
No.
Number 5, I have Sam Darnold. but his calculated market value is $56 million a year.
Sorry.
Number 4, I went Crab Legs Winston, Jameis Winston.
That's a leader of men right there.
Number 3, Josh Dobbs.
I don't even know how he does that. We're
Number
not getting
2,
Josh.
Number 2, Jacoby Brissett.
We're not getting Jacoby Brissett.
And number 1, Justin Fields.
I
Now,
can see that.
let me put number 2 and number 3, number 1 and number 2 into perspective. The calculated market value for Justin Fields is $8.9 million for a year. The calculated market value for Jacoby Brissett is $7.5 million. His average salary on his current contract is $8 million. Justin Fields, on the other hand, his average salary on his current contract is basically $5 million, 4.7.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that you don't have Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins on this list, but you snuck in Josh Dobbs for some reason?
I went top 5. Aaron and Cousins, they could be free agents. I'd be okay with them. But I'm going based off of who is set to be a free agent in 2025.
All right. I thought you were about to sell me that Josh Dobbs was a better pick than either of those, and I was going to slam this laptop shut.
No, that's not what he was doing. But I want to go back to Justin Fields. Honestly, and Josh, I'm kind of like talking to you when I say this because you had a pod with Lee a couple weeks ago, and you literally did straight up say that he wants a starting job somewhere.
Yeah, he probably does. I would.
He wants to yeah. I agree with you on that, actually.
I think this is a good opportunity for him if we don't pick Shador number 1.
Which we shouldn't do, and we're going to get I hope we get into that tonight at some point. But because we shouldn't get Shador, but that's I've been sounding off of that on social media for 3 days now. But yeah, the Justin Fields thing, I honestly like gun to head, you gotta get a free agent. We're not gonna draft Shador. Honestly, it's kind of who I want. I don't care if it's a bridge. I don't care what. But like you said,
nobody is worth $56 million in a season.
He's not wrong.
He's definitely not wrong.
I'd bring him.
Starting to sound like Jerry Jones now.
Exactly.
Unless there's a whip cracking in the background, you're good.
Exactly.
So, where that kind of puts you on that conversation, Tyler, how much are you willing to pay for Justin Fields to come in and maybe not be the guy? Because he's going to command a hell of a lot more than $9 million if you're trying to sell him on the fact that he's going to be a starter here in Tennessee.
Just a starter?
Well, if you let's just play this imaginary scenario. So we trade back to number 8 with the Oakland Raiders. We draft Abdul Carter, even though he's not going to be there, but somebody like that, James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. And we tell Justin Fields, we're not drafting a quarterback in the first round this year. We're going to bring you in to be our 17-game starter. And we're going to bring somebody in behind you to compete. How much are you willing to pay Justin Fields to come do that for your 2025 Titans?
Well, this what it goes back to the pod that you did it where you said that. I do agree with you on that aspect, though. As much as I would love to not to, I don't think Justin Fields would take this.
He's not taking 9.
No, absolutely not. He's not taking 9. What I'm trying to say is that does suck because I would love to have him on the Titans next year.
Okay,
but
it's
not going to happen.
He says that he'll take $23.5 million to come start for a season. What do you say?
No.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
Straight up, no. Not 23, dude. No way. Hell no.
That's about what Tannehill commanded before they pushed his can down the road so far, where he was like $35 million. But Tannehill was about a $17 to $23 million a year quarterback.
I mean, we won games. I mean, yeah.
I think Justin Fields with the dual threat capability would be able to win this game. Could you imagine Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, and Justin Fields in our backfield?
Yeah, if Tajay can quit from knocking his head off, and getting concussions.
Well, what about freaking Davis Mills?
Yeah, dude, that was a nice little trick he had. That was
he
pretty sick.
scorpioned himself.
You can have Davis Mills next year for a nice crisp $9 million if you want. I'm sure
I'll
he's
jump
available.
out this window right here, right now, if we were to do that.
I will climb on top of the canopy on the deck and I will jump.
Oh man, do a flip. Anyway,
Do
so
a flip. Do a flip.
So what do you
But
what do you say? Yeah,
For
what do you say, Lee?
Fields, I would go probably 10 to 12.
Yeah, he's not coming.
He's not. He wouldn't take it. Yeah.
So we're getting Jacoby Brissett as our starting quarterback in 2025.
Well, Fields, they're saying that he'll command around 10 million.
I just don't see it. Every year there's a guy who goes way above market value, and I think Fields is that guy. There's just no way. I would take
The max for him, if you include like incentive into it, the max I would go is probably 15.
Okay, I'm taking my shot. Okay, I'm calling my shot. This dude's going for 20 plus, and he's going to some franchise that needs a quarterback.
Who backing up Mahomes and KC?
He's not backing up anybody. That dude is going to go start somewhere.
I do agree.
New Orleans.
I don't care. That's probably a pretty good place for him. New Orleans.
He went number 11 in the draft.
Right there. It says right there, drafted round 1, pick 11.
Yeah. He's dude went 4-2 this year, and he was on a roll last year.
No, I thought he went 4-1.
It doesn't
4-2.
Yeah.
4-2. Okay.
Games. But in the year previous, he in his last 8 games was going nuts. Like he made the decision very difficult in Chicago. Like he's gonna command something much bigger than 9.
But then we head to edge. This is a very weird place for the Titans.
Josh, calm down. Don't jump out of your seat. Do a flip.
People are calling for the Titans to trade Harold Landry and Jeffrey Simmons. But I don't think you get rid of Harold or Jeff because they are the focal point of your defensive front. I think you find that piece opposite of Harold.
Yeah.
Go full screen on Josh.
No, you don't have to do that.
So
what are y'all thinking? Like you literally taking the 2 main pieces of your defense.
I don't think both should go, but I'm not against one of them going to get capital.
Who's rushing the passer?
If you take one away, like you wouldn't take one away to get something else.
No, to get what? A 3rd round pick for Simmons and a 5th round pick for Landry? No. Who's rushing the passer?
You think Landry's worth? You don't think Landry's worth more higher than a 5th round pick?
What would you trade for him if you were trading from another team?
I think he's at least worth a 4.
So you would trade,
if not a 3.
You would trade your 3rd round pick, which is the 32nd. Is the first pick of the 3rd round. You would trade the 33rd pick of the 2nd round.
Not this year. Hell no.
Okay, well, I mean, what are we talking about? Because if you're not willing to do that, you're not willing to do it.
Or we actually hit the market when we try to actually trade him for a player.
You get Derek Barnett to replace Harold Landry, and then you go draft Shedeur Sanders 1st overall, and who's rushing the passer?
We do not need to draft.
I don't care who you draft. If his name's not Abdul Carter, then who are you picking?
Or James Pierce.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you who I'm picking. We're demolishing everything right now because you want to know something? Lee, you don't know this, but I'm going to say it right now. Do you want to know the one man on this podcast right now that has scored a touchdown at the Titans Stadium?
I have experience, baby.
He has experience and he knows his shit. He returned an interception in flag football all the way to the house. That's more than the Titans did this year. So we're going to listen to everything he says and agree with him.
I have experience.
That's
I'm the
a
only
true
one.
story, by
the only
way.
one in this podcast has been in the Titans end zone with a ball in his hand.
Well, outside of me, but I was working, but still.
So,
right, fair enough.
edge, my top 5 edge in free agency. Derek Barnett. That would be a nice addition. Opposite of Harold.
Yeah, in rotation.
Azeez Ojulari, he was great in college. Pros, he's been nothing more than a rotational piece. Because he's up in New York with the Jets or Giants. Joseph Osai in Dallas. The dude was a stud coming out of college. I had him top 4 when he came out of college. Solomon Thomas, who I think was drafted by Rand in San Francisco, out of Stanford. And Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport in Detroit, he's only making a couple of years, like 2 or 3 million a year. He's only making like 2 or 3 million a year.
Sorry.
I mean, it's a sad list. I mean, if you have a toilet, like a flushing toilet sound on your soundboard, you should hit it right now.
Hang on. I can pull something.
I got a nice text from your dad, Josh, just now. So pretty funny. He said, "Swing," bringing up the touchdown.
Oh, yeah. No, we had a picture of it for a long time. I
was about to say, Josh's dad said he was going to
doing.
send it to me, and I was going to like give it to Lee, and we were going to post it, but he couldn't find it.
I know what laptop it's on. It's just a very old laptop. He was proud of that moment. He was more proud of it than I was. He had that as his background when he worked on his work laptop.
That's awesome.
What you got there?
I can't.
It didn't pick it up. Your microphone's too good. He was trying. It was a flushing sound, but we can just.
Oh, gotcha.
Instead,
What if I just take this off and?
Sounds like a '93 Honda trying to start up, but it's the same. It's the same effect. Yeah.
But inside linebacker got
So
another inside.
They like heat-seeking missiles as their inside linebacking core. Also, Ernest Jones isn't on this list.
I wouldn't bring him back.
We're not. I would bring him back tomorrow, Lee. What are you talking about? I'm still pissed.
Even with the injuries he has endured since he left Tennessee.
Oh, would you not? We got a freeze frame right here from Josh right now.
So what you're saying is you would not want a guy like a Devin Bush or a Devin White?
How old's Devin Bush and Devin White? You could play an entire montage of the tackles that Ernest Jones got for us, and you'd still have time left over to look up everybody else's age on this list.
Devin Bush, he's 26.
Okay, and Devin White is 312, and he'll come back as Gandalf the White at the turn of the tide, right?
And Devin White's also 26.
Maybe I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking of the linebacker from the Bucs. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oren Burks, he's 29.
Okay.
And he's in Philly right now.
I just don't see why you pay a premium price for a linebacker, an inside linebacker, unless A, you know it's your guy, or B, it's a dude. And I just don't see.
And I think Bush or White, they're good.
I mean, they're good. I don't want to be good. Do you want to be good?
I'm gonna put it how what's his name? RJ from TCP put it. In my opinion, neither of these guys are mediocre.
If they were mediocre, they wouldn't be starting in the National Football League. You don't start in the National Football League by being mediocre. Not for long, at least. I want to do with it when they walk on the field, everybody knows he's there. That's all I want to accept.
I feel like you'll get that with Bush, Devin Bush.
Why is he a free agent?
Well, Bush is in. Where is Devin Bush at?
Are we? I am very curious to discuss with Josh this Shador conversation at some point. But we don't.
So Devin Bush is in Cleveland.
Yep.
I
think that only.
So back to this question: are the Titans in a full rebuild based on this next slide? TCP put this out yesterday.
Shout out.
shout out to our boys at the TCP. Yes. So they asked the question: should the Titans fully embrace the rebuild with trading Jeff and Landry? And they put the ranks of where they ranked at and their cap for 2025. Harold Landry, $24 million in cap for 2025. Harold Landry had 62 total tackles, 33 solo, 9 sacks on the year. He was 4th in solo, 85th in forced fumbles, 24th in sacks, 47th in QB hits, 30th in batted passes, 3rd in assists, 6th in stops, 77th in quarterback hurries, and 62nd in total pressure. Then you get to Jeff, who has a cap hit in 2025 of 22.8. So, Jeff, he was 1st in solo tackles, 5th in forced fumbles.
Okay, Lee, why do I care? We have $61 million in cap space. Why do I care how much they cost? Like, I don't understand why we would ever entertain this conversation.
Well, if you think about it, what is that? 46.8.
And replace them with who? Jonathan Joseph Day, Derek Barnett.
I mean, I wouldn't be pissed about Derek Barnett though.
I mean, but I mean,
like you have
Derek
to let
Barnett
Sweat
doing?
grow. I feel like.
But then again,
okay, I'll give you the
Josh,
thing, but
hold on.
I don't want to replace. I don't want to get rid of Simmons. Like that doesn't make. We just paid him.
I
Why
get
would
that.
We do that?
So you don't want to get rid of either one of them, and I get what you're saying, but also your biggest go get right now is you want to go get an edge, as in Abdul Carter.
Yeah,
and you're wanting him to complement Landry.
Wait,
you're wanting him to complement Landry, right?
I want him to.
So my question to you is,
sacks.
Oh, okay. So Tavondre Sweat, he'll do his thing. What if we let go of Simmons and kept Landry and got your Abdul Carter?
But does
and then what if we could get something more in return for one of them? That's my thing.
Who's the heartbeat of that locker room?
I know you're going to say Jeffrey Simmons.
Okay. And who produces a majority of our sacks, even if it's not that many?
I would probably say Landry.
Okay. So what are we talking about?
No.
Should the Titans embrace the rebuild?
No.
And trade both of them?
No.
I don't think they should trade both of them, but I'm okay with letting one go, Josh.
So you're going to lose the heartbeat of your team, or
I'm
you
not
want to lose your
saying
sack
Simmons.
production? Or you want to lose your sack production, or you want to lose the heartbeat of your team?
But you want Abdul Carter, right? So let's go get him and trade Landry. Well, then it's just a flip flop. So
then we could just go. 30,
but then he's better. But
Abdul
apparently
Carter.
Abdul Carter's your guy, so he's gonna be better. So I'm just that's where my confusion comes in.
That's not how it works, though. We have a mannequin playing the other end position. if you're not creating if you're not putting the entire game of football is played on putting people in situations where they have to make a choice. And if I had to make a choice between running my ass off from Abdul Carter or going over here and getting blown up by Harold Landry or getting absolutely crushed by two freight traders right in front of you, why would you get rid of either of the guys that are on that line that are the base of your – I mean, if you're trying to create a situation where the quarterback can't find a guy open because you've got L'Jarius Sneed and Chidobe Awuzie back there. I mean, what are we doing? Why would we take a step back by getting rid of a key element of our second?
So you're saying keep both?
I'm saying absolutely. Let it ride because how old is Harold Landry?
I would be fine with keeping both, but at the same time, I think it would not be crazy to trade at least one.
But what are you getting for him? That's where I'm concerned, because if you're trading Harold Landry to get a 4th round pick, I don't care.
I'm not even talking about a pick.
What do you want? What do you get?
Or you know what? Let's start next season. Let's see how the first half of the season goes. If we're sucking ass up to the deadline, we're sucking ass. Like, what are we
sell
going to
him
do?
Yeah, you can sell me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But
I
going
understand.
going
I
into
understand
an
the
off
draft
season and trying to build a roster and a core, I absolutely under no circumstances
I
think
get
that should be
that.
part of.
You want to build a defense around those guys.
I get that.
You pay old guys on your defense, you pay young guys on your offense. That's the recipe to success. I mean,
So Big John says, yes, embrace, and embrace again.
They were so damn good. Why didn't we win more games? And he's agreeing with you, Tyler. He's saying get rid of them.
Well, here's my thing with that, and I told you this today, Josh, on the phone before the pod. Honestly, I don't care how flashy a player is. That's good. I don't need the.
And it's the same thing with college.
Yeah, it's the same.
Let's go jump in the door.
I don't care. Like, I want to win games. Like, I want to. You know what? Actually, I'm going to bring it back to the valet world. Josh, would you rather have some guy that's going to freaking be out there in the front drive with you, just like knows, like, no, I'm not going home early. No, nothing. We're sweating. We're in the snow. We're in the rain. And he doesn't. But here's my thing. But he doesn't look good in a suit. But I got your ass, didn't I?
Yeah, I know who you're referencing too.
Yeah. But hey, guess what? Now
and the answer is I'm going to take Tim Ulrich. Shout out to Tim Ulrich every day and twice on Sunday.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I said it, not you. So
it's fine. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I want to win. I want to win games. I don't care what it looks like. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, guys. We keep like forgetting about that. Like, we can do it. Ryan Tannehill with this roster this year. Oh God, I'm dead.
Close.
Now we're getting into this stuff nobody else
let's
knows.
get off of this rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So
shout out to Yusuf Awad and his new baby girl, by the way. Congratulations, mom, dad, or girl, dad.
Oh man, good times. But
so
anyway.
Brian Callahan had his end of year presser today.
Oh God, it was awful. Sorry,
I didn't watch it. It's the first presser I didn't watch.
Oh, actually. Please go watch. You'll just cringe the whole time.
I don't want to.
So shout out again to TCP. Titans head coach Brian Callahan says that he's humble enough and open enough to relinquish play calling duties if it makes the team better, but has no plans to do so at this moment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Brian Callahan's first season calling plays?
Ass.
It's booty.
It's from a scale from 1 to ass, and I pick ass is how the play calling was.
Yeah. I mean, he had his moments. Again, he was a first-year play caller. He should get a second year. I say that reluctantly and quietly. But it wasn't good.
A second year. You should give him a second year.
We should give him a second year, but I'm gonna hate every second.
Yay!
But there were 7 new head coaches in the NFL this year. Only 3 of the 7 had winning records.
We did the worst.
Dan Quinn, a second-time head coach, made the playoffs with a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels at 12-5.
I feel like Harbaugh and Quinn shouldn't be on this list because this isn't their first rodeo, you know.
Yeah, well, they were new head coaches in 2024. They were originally either a college head coach or a coordinator.
The combined age of them has to be like 150, though. I don't think that counts.
Wait, why don't you think they should be on the list?
Because this is their second stop. Because everybody else on the list is their first time being a head coach.
Yeah, but it's still
True.
in the NFL. I mean, I get what you're saying.
All
but
right.
I mean,
so other than Mike McDonald, who has handled a silver platter, nobody else on this list has any experience as a head coach, or B, was handed a very good situation. I mean, Raheem Morris didn't even have a quarterback when he took over his team. So,
and he still managed to win 8 games.
Yes, he did. With a quarterback change
Late in the year.
You know what I'm saying?
Antonio
That's
Pierce.
That's kind of how I feel.
Antonio Pierce had a freaking train wreck in Vegas.
I don't know how he doesn't get fired. I just really don't.
Gerard Mayo
I'm with you on that.
fired literally 10 minutes after he walked off the field.
Yeah.
After
Most players weren't even home yet. Most
Going
players on the
4-13.
noon slate were still riding the bus, driving the car home.
I think he already knew he was fired before that game.
Had to. He Levy Smith them for sure.
They were talking about that on the radio today. Yeah.
Were they? That's funny.
The question I want to put in this. The question I want to put in this. So you have a first-time head coach, and he's fired. And Callahan did worse. How does Callahan not get fired?
Well, did Callahan
Josh
do worse?
kind of said it.
He Levy Smith them. He knew he wasn't going to have a job. Whereas there was a collaborative train wreck here in Tennessee. They decided on the train wreck. Gerard did y'all
see the 92-yard run that we did not discuss the Texans games, but I just want to say one thing. Did you see the 92-yard run where literally I can't even remember who caught up to Pierce, but literally pushed him into the end zone? I was like, could we? Yeah, Worley. I was like, could we kind of make it not as obvious? Like my dad
was sure score, bud.
Yeah, no, he was like, I was like, my dad was like losing his shit in the background. I had my daughter with me. I was like, Dad, we're done this season.
The only two reasons you were at that game was you had a gun held to your head, or like you were
given free tickets.
Did you see the stands? I've never seen it that
bad. I heard it on the radio.
I
heard it on the radio because when they get a first down and they go, ooh, you could hear individual voices. That's how few people were in the stadium.
For the 50-yard line section, like 112 or whatever it is, like right there on the 50-yard line, bottom level, $12 a piece.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that too. Like, I was
people were joking. They were like, for $75, you can be the water boy. Like, it's like,
exactly. I was like, man, this
average
is bad.
wins between the 7 new head coaches was 7.4.
And Dan Quinn boosted that average, didn't he?
Who do y'all think gets Coach of the Year?
Dan Quinn.
Either him or Danny Campbell. Dan Campbell.
Yeah, those are the only two correct answers.
I freaking love that dude.
Me too. In fact, Dan Campbell, and that's my final answer. And that comes from the heart, if I'm being honest.
He got knocked down, but on the way back up, he was biting everybody's knees off.
Oh, all the way up from 3-13.
Yeah. But I don't see that in Callahan. But anyway.
It's no different than any other business. Strong managers and weak assistants can work. Weak managers and strong assistants can work. When all of them are weak, you get the Titans.
Yup, he's not wrong.
Damn, that was actually that hit hard right there. That was good shit right there.
I've preached that since I was like 12 years old.
Right.
So as we had the off season, let's look back statistically at the Titans 2024-25 season.
Hey, I got a chair.
You got a chair.
Hey, y'all. I'm legit now.
I got a chair and a sign, y'all.
This is the difference between 2024 Wisenhunt and 2014 Wisenhunt and 2024 Callahan. Start off in 2014. Wisenhunt went 2-14. They were averaging 15.9 points per game. They were averaging 304 yards per game. 30.1% on third down offense. In 16 games, they gave the ball away 19 times, sacked 50. Red zone defense, 58.7. Sacks, 39 in 16 games, and 29 takeaways. But then you look at Callahan. Let's go to the big stats. 18.3 points per game. They had more yards with 311. Third down offense was better, 37.1. But the stat that doesn't make sense to me, 34 giveaways. You gave the ball away 34 times. Your quarterbacks were sacked 52 times. You only had 32 sacks on the year defensively and 18 takeaways. You have a turnover differential this season of minus 16.
I want to throw something in here for you. First off, Wisenhunt was fired for what? Not being able to protect Marcus Mariota.
Exactly.
Okay. We have, behind the New England and Atlanta Falcons, the worst sacks over the course of the season. No, gotten. We have 32. Atlanta has 31, and New England has 28. We gave up 52 sacks. There are only 2 teams in the league that had more than 52 sacks on the year. The Ravens got 54, and the Broncos got 63.
Allowed?
No, that they got. Like that a team got over the course of an entire season. So we gave up more sacks than the Cowboys got, and we got less sacks than the Carolina Panthers.
I see what you're saying. So here's the question. I get where you're going at with it, Josh, with that too. But I want to propose a question to both of you on this, because this has been a talk in like mini pods and stuff, like recently, like Titans pods, whatever. Is this year's team worse than that team? I'm going to give you my answer. I disagree. I think this is the worst Titans team I've ever seen, which is crazy because of the roster. If you would have, I think at the beginning of the year, our roster, I would put it up against a lot of teams.
Kansas City.
But I will tell you this right now. I think this is the worst performances and Titans team I've ever seen.
I agree with you in that it is the worst coach Titans team I've ever seen.
So Callahan should go.
Yes,
so Callahan should. Okay.
He should go if you isolate it in a vacuum. If the one season is isolated in a vacuum, but that's not how the world works.
I get that.
Because who are you going to go get to replace him? There's going to be a bunch of first-time guys. These guys that are going to be in the exact same position, and we restart the whole process all over again.
Hell with it. Bring back Vrabel. Let's just run this thing back.
Go get Art Smith, baby. But, I mean, if your true goal, if Amy Adams Strunk's true goal is to have a complete and total culture reset and for it to be Amy Adams Strunk's Tennessee Titans with a collaborative effort, you cannot abandon ship at the first sign of trouble. Okay, we're 3-13. First year cycles stuck. Dan Campbell went 3-13. As Gronk pointed out on the Fox show today that he got shut down on.
I've got to look that up, by the way.
Jimmy Johnson went 1-15 his first year before he won multiple Super Bowls with the Cowboys.
Yeah, but the NFL is completely different now than it used to be, though.
It doesn't matter. Guys are guys. Dogs are dogs.
Zach Taylor in year 1
he had a bad year too.
They won one game. And that one win was against us.
I'm not convinced that Joe Burrow is not the magic in Cincy, but that's neither here nor there. But you see what I'm saying, Tyler?
Well, you know what? You know that actually they were talking about it when he came to Cincinnati. He was surrounded by garbage, and his receivers were hurt. His O-line was awful.
He tore an ACL.
By the way, that does not mean, Josh, that I'm saying take Shador. That is not what I'm saying.
We should absolutely take Shador.
No. It drives me nuts. I ain't saying shit with you, man. I'm not saying that.
So let's take a quick look at who do the Titans play in 2025.
Right on. With our last place schedule.
Hey.
Easier path to the
playoffs. In 2025, the Titans go to Arizona, to Denver, and of course you play at our division, at Houston, at Indy, at Jacksonville. You also play at Las Vegas. So you're going to get a taste of what the new stadium is going to feel like in Vegas. You play in the Bay, you go to San Fran, and then you also go to Cleveland. At home, of course, we have our division, Houston, Indy, Jacksonville. Kansas City comes to town next year. The Chargers come to town. The Rams come to town. Seattle, you play the Patriots and the Saints in Nashville next year.
So we play the NFC West and the AFC West, it looks like.
and then you play the same place finisher of the AFC East, AFC North, and NFC South.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So we play the Western. Dang, we play both Western divisions next year.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck.
I do plan on going to an away game next year, gentlemen.
Which
For the
one we want
first
to
time,
go to?
honestly, the closest one with me and the lady, probably Cleveland, maybe Cleveland, or we're gonna come up there and maybe Lee. We can go to that Indy game.
Oh,
Indy?
you leaving me out? Did I not get invited? Am I getting?
Are you coming?
If you go to Indy,
You coming?
All right, I'll pick
Was
your.
it the
I mean,
Polar
you
Express? Like-
you can yeah, dude, it's the
What,
Polar
you coming?
Express, dude. You come drive to me, and then I'll drive us up there. We'll do it.
We'll talk about it, but yeah, I'm down. I would love to go to an away game.
Dude, Indy, that stadium.
I've never been to an away
I've
Titans
been to
game,
that
so
stadium.
I would like to do that.
Me either.
I've been to the game at Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas Oil.
That's a nice stadium inside.
I've seen the outside of
It
it.
better be.
I've been right there at the outside of it, but never in it.
We should do a watch party in Indy.
Heck yeah.
Should do a watch
Outside?
party in Indy.
Outside
we
the
should-
stadium.
Oh, I mean, not. Well, we should. We'll
We should play for
We'll figure this out.
There's we'll figure it out.
Run through
Oh.
Super Wild Card weekend. Starting in the AFC, KC's on bye. Denver at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Who you got? Buffalo. Yeah, me too.
So Buffalo.
Wouldn't
Are
that
you,
be
are you writing
nuts?
this down, Lee?
Yeah.
He's got
Okay.
to. Got to keep track of it.
Yeah. So we all got Buffalo for this.
I'm 5-0, by the way.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Pittsburgh's looking like smashed booty. Death taxes
Oh.
and Tomlin's going to fall apart at the end of the year.
This last one, y'all are gonna probably disagree with me. Go
Chargers
ahead.
at Houston.
Go, Tyler.
I really hate what I'm about to say, y'all. I do think Houston somehow wins that game.
Well, it's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. What about
Hey,
Indy?
it's fine.
Hang on.
I don't know why, but I feel like
Got
Houston
the-
messes
got a feeling.
around and wins that game.
Yeah, are you saying that the Titans were a get-right game for Houston?
No, we're not a get right game for anybody, dude. Are you kidding me? No.
We're a get-right game for
I'm gonna
everybody.
agree with Tyler. I'm gonna agree with Tyler on this one.
Okay. You're allowed to be wrong. It's all right. Remember, I'm 5-0. You listen to me.
Honestly, just because it's at Houston is kind of a thing too. But
Yeah, you think NRG gives them that much of an advantage?
And then, so I'm guessing you're taking LA.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a question.
I mean, the record I gave Houston at the beginning of the year on a show was ridiculous, and they did not perform. But I think they're gonna F around and figure out what I don't know. I think they're gonna mess around and win that game. But anyway,
NFC.
See, this is way more of a toss-up for me. All of this.
Green Bay at Philly.
Green Bay.
Yeah, it's gonna be Green Bay.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you
Yeah.
agree with me.
It's gonna be Green Bay. Yeah.
Washington at Tampa. Washington at Tampa.
Washington.
Give me the
Ooh,
rook. Give me the rook. Give me the rook.
I actually, oh, you know what? Let me think about this for a second, dude. Baker's playing out of his mind right now.
Dude's playing nuts. So is
I
Bucky.
don't.
Bucky's playing nuts. Evans is playing nuts. The defense.
But you know what,
still
Lee?
sucks.
Give me Washington still.
Oh, this is gonna be that's gonna be a shootout. Did they play this year? I feel like they played this year.
Played I think 2 years ago in the playoffs.
No,
Because Heineke, Taylor Heineke.
Taylor
beat
Heineke was
Tampa.
nuts, man. That's right. I remember he beat. No. You're talking about when he almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs before they won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
You're talking
right.
2019, my guy. You're old.
Good
But
lord.
still,
Tampa. Give me Tampa.
So times two for Washington and Tampa.
Yeah.
Did you say Tampa?
No, I said Washington. I said go
Okay.
ahead and give him to me.
Minnesota at LA.
I'll take Minnesota. No question.
LA. Sean McVay not losing to Sam Darnold at home. I'm sorry.
Oh shit! I just realized that too. But yeah, I'll still take the Vikings.
Yeah, isn't that wild? 14-3 teams playing on the road in the playoffs.
Dude, that NFC playoff race is honestly one of the most nuts things I've seen in a while.
The only way Minnesota hosts a playoff game is if they play Washington.
So, recap the rundown for the AFC. All three of us took Buffalo
Yeah.
at hosting Denver.
All three of us
Baltimore
took
hosting Pittsburgh. All three of us took that one.
Yeah.
Tyler and I took Houston at home, while Murph took the Chargers.
That's Mr. 5-0 to you, Lee.
On the NFC side, we all three took Green Bay. Tyler and I took Washington over Tampa. Mr. 5-0 took Tampa Bay. He also turned back around and took Los Angeles at home, while Tyler and I took Minnesota, or as they say up here, Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnesota.
You'll have to convince me that look, Minnesota's gonna have to show me. Like, it's a different game. Everybody you're playing right now is good.
So post week 18, before wild card weekend.
God, this could be a whole other podcast. Let's
really
go.
good.
Let's go.
So Titans pick number 1. But there are 3 possible trade backs scenarios. All 3 teams in a quarterback. The Chargers, not the Chargers, the Raiders, the Jets, and the Saints. All 3 need a quarterback.
Wait, did Seattle not make the playoffs?
No.
Wow. Like 10-7, they missed the cut.
That shows you how bad the NFL is.
No,
all the way
that shows
up
you how
to-
good the West was, that they didn't make the playoffs.
Arizona
They had 2 teams make the
barely.
playoffs.
Arizona barely missed the playoffs.
Wow.
That NFC was a gauntlet, dude, this year.
The
That
NFC
NFC
was
West.
gnarly.
Yeah.
10-7, and if we'd gone 10-7, we'd have won our division.
Oh,
yeah.
Had we went 11-6, we would have won our division.
Yeah. Well, we probably, in order to go 10-7, we probably would have had to beat Houston. So
All the way up till that 12 seed, or the 12th pick. Actually, let's go up to 16. Every team is below a winning record.
except for, you know what's crazy about that 8? Could you imagine going 10-7 and being like, "Oh, we have the 18th pick"?
how would be
Like
what
we
is
went
going
10
on?
and we went 10-7, and we have the 18th pick.
What
Like,
did the wild card? I'm sorry to get us so off track here, but
No.
what did the wild card teams in the AFC? What were their records?
I'll tell you.
Let me pull that up.
That's nuts, man. But yeah, I mean, you have the
The
trade
AFC.
highlighted.
You said the AFC?
Yeah, the AFC wild card guys.
Houston was 10-7.
They were the wild card. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Denver was 10-7. Pittsburgh was 10-7.
So a bunch of 10-7 teams.
11-6, 12-5.
Dang, that's nuts, man. There were a lot of good teams and a lot of bad teams this year.
13-4.
Not much in between.
There that Josh, what he just said is right. There was not an in between this year. It was like good and bad teams, and that's like what it was.
Yeah.
So I want to like kind of talk about this, Lee, a little bit. Josh kind of did it last week during. Josh kind of last week during the segment kind of like went through it. So as I'm looking at this, so we got the number 1 pick now. Yeah. Go back.
We will in the end, my friend.
We will again.
Fair statement. So like the Browns, I don't think.
The Browns game? That would be cool.
I actually don't think it would. I don't.
Well, that question. Sorry, not to cut you off, but Kirk Bagger, Captain Kirk in our world, is a very, very successful businessman in Cleveland. And so that would be really cool to actually go to the away game in Ohio. I have a family in Ohio, so that'd be cool.
That's
But
where
anyway.
Angel is from. So yeah,
I thought so. We might be able to make that one happen. That's not
yeah,
a bad
she's
idea.
got connections. So anyway, so Cleveland, I don't think they actually take a quarterback.
I don't think they do either.
The
No.
Giants for sure
They
going to take a
could, but I don't-
quarterback. And it's weird how it's shaped up because Cleveland, I don't think they take a quarterback.
Giants
The
do.
Giants do. Vegas does.
Vikings
Jets do. Saints
do.
do. So
Yeah.
those four right there in the top 9 are taking quarterbacks. So I love what you did, Lee, because like the ones you highlighted, if we are going to trade back,
That's where
I
you'd
think-
want to go.
I think the best thing that can happen to us as an organization is for one of those 4 teams, well, realistically 3 teams, to trade with Cleveland.
I was about to say, Josh brought up a good point for the pod when we were doing pre-show. We can't put that out of the question that
Realm of
Cleveland
possibility.
yeah, like Cleveland's probably. I could see Cleveland trading that pick like
What do you
down
think?
to one of
Wait.
those teams.
What do you think, chaos? And you can give Tyler full screen here. What do you think chaos ensues should Cleveland trade out with the Raiders?
Well, first of all, you got to ask me what we're gonna do.
Well, that's the thing. So we're talking pre-draft day. The Raiders trade up to number 2. Now our phones are ringing off the hook. Hey, Cleveland, the Raiders are really trying to get a quarterback here.
They want
think-
Shador.
The Raiders are really trying to take Shador here.
Okay.
We love Cam Ward.
Yeah.
What's it going to cost you to trade with me, the New York Jets, at number 6, Lee, or 9?
They were at 7.
7.
Okay.
Pay
7.
the New York Jets to trade to 7. Because you're giving up Abdul Carter. You're probably going to get James Pierce at this point, but you're in the Ashton Genty range and the McMillan range.
And you're talking about Cleveland here, right? Not us.
I'm talking about Cleveland trades out and is at 6 now.
Okay.
With Vegas.
And
And the teams are called either the Jets or the Saints are calling us.
or the Giants at this point because they need a quarterback too.
I would not trade back 2 spots.
No,
Why?
I'm not trading back
Why?
2 spots. Why would you trade back?
If they
2
offer
spots?
you two first round picks, this in a third, and hell,
Oh
who
yeah,
knows?
hell yeah, Josh. If they did that, that's a different story.
Well, that's
And then-
that's the price of your dude at that point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
What is
if they
the price
did,
of your dude?
if they did that, Josh, absolutely, I would do that. I
I
agree.
mean,
If-
that's the price of your dude. I mean, if you want Shador Sanders and the Raiders are knocking on the door behind me, what are you willing to
I mean,
trade?
I
What would
sure
you
as hell
accept?
don't want Shador Sanders.
Hey, I
I'm
know
willing
you
to trade the world for anybody but Shador Sanders.
Fair enough.
What I'm doing if I'm Tennessee, if I get the call from, let's say the Jets, let's say the Jets want Cam Ward or Shador, 1, 2. And I'm the GM. I'm saying I want your first this year, your first next year, a third this year. For sure. Those are the top 3 things I'm asking for. And then maybe something extra.
Okay, so he's fleecing them deathless. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm like, dude. I'm like, you're sitting there like everything you just said, Lee. That would be great in a dream scenario, but there's no way in hell that's happening in the NFL.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
No.
The Lions did it.
I mean,
When?
it happens. Don't
Or
get me
the
wrong.
Rams.
It happens.
The Rams
but-
did it when they drafted
What?
Goff.
Yeah, but they moved up from 11.
Was this the? No, it wasn't the year.
The
We-
year
we
they
trade-
trade with us.
Yeah, they moved up from 11. We're talking about moving 2 spaces. We're talking about moving 5 spaces. We're not.
No, I'm talking
dropping
about
out of
with-
10.
I'm talking about the Joe with the Jets.
They're at 7.
Okay, Josh, what would you do?
I mean, I'm asking for your first pick next year. I'm asking for either a second next year or a third this year. We don't have a 3rd round pick. I'm asking for something in that range. It may be a player, maybe a right tackle. I don't know who they got on their roster.
I think it
but
has to be a first round pick, Josh. I don't think
I'm
a
talking about
second or
tandem.
third.
Those 3 things.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
No, I'm not giving it for free. I'm not doing
No,
that.
no, I know that.
So-
I was like,
But you know,
So-
like
Here was the compensation on that trade with the Rams. So the Titans traded the number 1, a 4th round, and a 6th. But what the Titans got was 15, 2 seconds, a third, a first in 2017, and a third in 2017.
They gave
Hold
up
on,
14 spots on the draft board, though.
Say that again,
And
Lee,
still gave
on
up a
what
4th
we
and a
got.
7th.
Tell me something. Yeah, tell me what we got in that.
So pick wise,
read that. Yeah.
we got pick 15.
Okay.
We got
round.
2 seconds, a
That year and
third,
next year.
and then a first in 2017, and a third in 2017.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but they gave up. I mean, who do we wind up drafting with that? I don't even remember who we drafted with that.
That was the year after we got Marcus.
Oh, so that was the year where we got like all the players that literally played.
Jack Conklin, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, and Jonnu.
All of those are good except for.
But we got that the next year. Who did we get? Who did we get with that 15th? No, we moved that 15th pick up to number 8 and took Jack Conklin.
Yeah,
because we were going to take Laramie Tunsil.
Which we never should have let go of Jack Conklin. I'm just saying.
We've been chasing the ghost of Jack Conklin.
Yeah, and then one of those 2 seconds we took Derrick.
Yeah. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. I can't believe he took that long to come off the board. But he was cheeks when he first came out. If we're being real, like he's the goat now. And
Corey Davis, Corey Davis in 2017, along with Adoree.
Outside of Corey Davis's catch against the Eagles, it was like
I know, so lackluster.
And then I think
John almost wrecked my car. I was so happy when I was driving back. I was like, "Yes, Corey Davis."
Do you want to know a funny story about that, Josh? So I was working that day at the Hilton.
You and I watched Marcus Mariota get drafted together.
We did. And
you remember that? That's funny.
Yeah. And so we were sitting there and literally I was in, like the Hilton, like common area and those TVs by the bars. And I was working, like literally it was about, the Titans game was about to get like let out, which means it's chaos there at the Hilton. It's right there on Broadway. I can't believe I did this. I was on the clock, like literally working.
Should you admit to this? Has the statute of limitations run out on this?
Hell no. Oh, long gone. Had my suit coat on, suit pants, dress shoes, everything. As soon as he threw that pass and he caught it, I took. And Josh won't be surprised when he hears what I did.
I'm not surprised.
I took my suit coat off, threw it, and ran out the door onto the front drive and was like,
love it.
Probably why I don't work in that.
Probably
anymore. But hey, whatever. I was young. Yeah, we lived and we learned. True story. And then I watched as literally a Eagles fan came across the crosswalk right by the skirmer horn, threw his Eagle jersey down on the ground, and watched cars just drive over it.
So since he brought this up, my dad said, "What draft class came to see you at Union Station?" My dad's one of the people who brought Uber to Nashville. Funny enough, but
true story.
That is a true story.
He saved my life many times.
While he was driving Uber Black, he just so happened to pick up the rookie offensive line for the Tennessee Titans, which I can't believe the Suburban wasn't dragging the ground on the way down the street. That's so much sirloin steak in the back of that thing. But he offered, like when he realized who it was, he goes, "Hey, my son's a huge Titans fan. He's working Union Station right now. I'll stop the meter right now and give you a free ride if you'll just go meet him for a second." So Sebastian Tretola, Jack Conklin, basically that first draft class that John Robinson had.
J-Rob.
Yeah, my dad pulls into the driveway. Oh, the doors open. The Suburban goes up 1.5 feet because all these guys got out of the back just to meet me, dude. It was so cool. That was one of the coolest experiences I've had as a Titans fan.
Dude, that has to be like a couple weeks before I joined you at Union Station.
Had to. It was during that time. I was working by myself. I was alone.
I was working a different shift or something because I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
But it was super cool, man. I'll never forget it. Jack Conklin's he was so nice. So was Sebastian Tretola, who a lot of people won't remember because he never really amounted to much in his NFL career. But they were all very kind people, and I really appreciate that if they ever hear this.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time to close up shop.
Oh yeah, we went way over.
Way over what I wanted to.
Yeah, what we discussed. We're excited to have TK back, man.
Hey, we gotta run it back.
The boys are back.
The boys are. Oh, there's
So
yeah, we're back.
So
I want you to let them know they were all the way back.
during the off season, we're cutting back to one show a week, and then there will be a little bit of time that J Murph won't be here.
I will try to make it on, but I'm gonna have to
Leave
Murph got things in the work, you know. He got things in the works, you know. So I gotta take like a 3-week hiatus. I'll be around.
He'll be around, maybe in the comments, but
I'll be around.
He'll find a way. Trust me, I know him. He'll be around.
Well, Titans fans, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Stay classy and tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tightened up.